Rocky's back. Back again. Rocky's back. Tell a friend. Fixing up my Streamlabs cause it's weird and everything's gone funny. Do. Aye, welcome back everybody. Thanks so much for joining me for this magical show. The markets in America have indeed opened. It is their morning, our afternoon. We're all enjoying it together, learning and making money as we go along the way, trading and doing everything really well, apart from perhaps reliably, consistently pulling out, streaming well or something like that. So anyway, yes, here's the chart up behind me. It was taking a look at a requested one from come in when that last stream went kaput. Don't know why it happened. These things are, it's not typical for me to be having such extreme technical difficulties. So I do anticipate it going back to being reliable again very soon. But then again, thanks for joining me anyway. It's really great to have you, and I do appreciate you all. So I'm just going to read through a couple of these donos that had come in from the previous one, just so that they don't go overlooked, because it'd be easy for me to get caught up in the swing of doing the show and not necessarily consider. I see I wasn't visible on that other screen, and not necessarily consider what is everybody else's. To forget the donations had come in. Where am I at on this screen? Oh my goodness, you've hidden me, Streamlabs. Well, I'll figure that out after. Anyway, right, yeah. Thanks so much to Kim Robbins, Natural Friend, Shikar, that for having become a member. That was really appreciated. Jay for keep on rockying. Janine as well. And those are the ones that read it during the show. We took a look at Netflix. Because Brian Mullen asked me to earlier on. Very much appreciated for that donation as well. Christy Callahan donated $10. They donated it through the donation thing as well, so that saved on the old fees. Much appreciated. Great show as usual. Super info. Thank you so much. Dober Mamba as well, just reminding me as I look back through the old donations there that you're an uncle now. Kim Robbins says, good morning, sweet guy. Good morning, sweet Kim Robbins. You're such a lovely person. Reading that from such a lovely person as yourself makes it all the more real. Thanks, sweet Kim. And cheers, Rocky and JME. Proud to call you friends, says Natural Friend. And it's cool. The Natural Friend is Natural Friend. Is JME and my friend. Thanks so much. Proud to call you friends and teachers. Great work. God bless America and free markets for all. Absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more. Free markets for all. Good to see everybody out there as well, such as Stally, Sweetness of Color by AJ, John G, Lepton Inc., Danko Bar, Alex Baker, and all y'all as we come back round to 20 past the hour. It's coming up 20 past the hour, so we're coming up towards the first full hour of trading having occurred. I'll come back and do some TA on the ADMP chart. Presently, I'm just going to jump on over to where the charty jobbies are, and then bring up the where am I supposed to be? I'm supposed to be here. So make it more visible? I don't know what's going on with that. Oh, NVIDIA broadcast. As the software is not open. How am I working on the other screen if the software is not working? Oh, I have an idea. The source camera is busy. Another application is currently using the source to use it here. First stop using it in the other application. Oh, how annoying. That's not annoying at all, Rocky. What are you talking about? Just stay calm and everything will be fine. Yeah, good. Thanks for that. That's the benefit of having done that. What do you call that stuff you do? Meditation. Shout out to Eddie for that. So if I just change my source to something that it isn't, then maybe it'll start working on the other thing. So it's cool, I did a bit of the old meditation earlier on, and that's probably stood me in good steading standings to not not feel, peeved, to not feel annoyed too much, certainly anyway, by the goings on my sort of tech side of things. It's very frustrating, but it's it is what it is. Oh, that's okay, cool. Well, it just looks like it is what it is, so we're just going to have to accept that I've got a background now. Okay, I can accept that I've got a background now. I'll just do that. Okay. And I go back to the USB video thing, and it doesn't work. Okay, cool. So I just have to accept that I'm not... Oh, hello. It's weird. All right, I'm on it sometimes I am. That's all good. Right, so here's the charts. Maybe it's better to not even have me on the charts for a while. We're going to take a look at this. Then we're going to go back and check our pals GME and AMC, the MOAS stocks. If you are just joining me for the show here today, by the way, for the first time, and you don't know who I am, I'm Rocky Outcrop. I do professional level technical analysis here on the tube every single day of the working week, and then I take the weekends off. And I would encourage you to subscribe because it's a great community that we're building over here. Everybody gets on really well, and we've got this common mission to kind of, grow as traders, and we're doing that together successfully so far, looking at more than just stocks which you kind of diamond hand and all that, looking at, of course, a multitude of things in the market because we're here to learn. So a parallel channel doesn't fit really around that so easily, so it kind of goes without saying that I don't want it on there. Yeah, but that's what we do here on the show. We take a look at a whole bunch of different things and try and help people with financial literacy. Now, of course, you might also hodl and trade cryptocurrencies. So I'll be taking a look at cryptocurrencies as well very shortly. I'll be done here with this ADMP, Adamis Pharmaceuticals Corporation chart soon. And then we'll go and take a look at the those meme stocks, as people are calling them. I really hate the name meme stocks, but if that's what people want to call them, then whatever. And we'll go take a look at them together, and then we'll take a look at cryptocurrency. Right, the general thrust of what I'm trying to suggest with this green line here is that there's this overall upward movement, and we're in the midst of it right now. I already did the measurements of it, and you can see that we're above the 50% line and the 236 area for on the retraces, and that's pretty good. Now we're also looking at this in the shorter term, like you're right into it and seeing how we've been doing, since say June or so, and we've been in this sideways period. Now if I drop down the time frames, we know that this period here is reflects right. First off, right. Sorry. So from the broader point of view, we know that this area here is at the 382. That if we pushed up above the 236, we'd have invalidated this thing, and we've already been in it at 618, and it's pretty damn good to have done all of that. And that so far we're kind of bouncing around about an area that's got its own range identified with it. So that's what we know about the kind of where this broader region is. To narrow it down a little bit further as well, just from those recent highs, those recent lows, we're right in at the 50% area, just below it, and that taking out that 118 area could be a good start towards that. So we kind of got a good idea about things that we're in around those regions. We got these three highs, but they're all lower than the previous high, and we've got these two lows just here, and they're lower. Well, that's a higher low. Now there's this kind of general concept where you could be looking at this and kind of saying that it's got feels of the diamond on it, but it doesn't have the proper diamond type setup overall. But I get why you would be feeling that. There's a sort of broadening aspect to this side of things, and then of course a tightening aspect to this side of things, and we could be coming in here to try and challenge and break above that. We're not going to know anything until we see the prices above 124. If we do actually push past 118, then that is the sort of the smaller trade. If you're just looking to kind of short term this one, if you're looking for it to try and capture a trend and move where you maybe get or a measured move of sorts, where maybe you're looking at a range of perhaps something in the region of maybe 40 cents or so, then you could be looking up towards the 160s and 70s region. That would bring us in around about here, and it would work in terms of the measured move off the back of this diamond to kind of take you up to those zones. That would take you up to 160 roughly, just that sort of thing that I drew in there. If we were in that around about that area, then cool. But this as a form of a sort of mid-range continuation pattern, it's not my idealist and favoriteist. easiest, but it is kind of, in a sense, kind of how these things so often work, and that you look backwards and you kind of don't really see it any longer. It's hard to actually pick it out. So that's kind of where I am on this one. The main thing anyway, the main thrust of any sort of aspect of this is that from this midpoint, obviously, where we had that low just there, then we're looking at having a symmetrical triangle on the go, an equilateral triangle. It's got that sort of propensity to break either direction, and again, the same sort of thing applies where you're looking at 124 and saying that that's the key area for us to be breaking up above. Wouldn't be getting so carried away in terms of the measured move off the back of it necessarily, although it does also take us up towards that 156 region, as you can see. Very similar, in fact. Yeah, you know, it's basically the range of the diamond, if you like, if that's what that is. Now, this isn't really your classic diamond, so I don't like talking about that. What I really am doing is talking about this consolidation range and the range of travel that's been in here this entire time, and the confused aspect to it, and that of course it could move either direction, but if we were managing our risk, then doing it at the round number of $1 or thereabouts is probably going to be the easiest way to think about that, just, you know, so that you don't expose yourself to any movements down of like serious chunks, like perhaps another 20-30% down to the 70 cents, etc. regions. That's where we are right now with this one. In terms of the DMI, nice positive cross that we had here recently, just with regards to just in about, yeah, with that low, that higher low, excellent. That coincided with a positive, well, it wasn't a positive cross, sort of little negative cross, then positive cross, undoing of it, remaining the ADX above 25, giving us that breathing room, you know, just to be able to go in and do that. It's burnt off any sort of divergences. It doesn't have a satisfactory sort of higher low in this section just here, but overall we're doing fairly well, and I'm liking the look of this chart in terms of just this current setup for where we are just now. It's okay. You can see that this is reflected in terms of the RSI. The final point that I'll make on this one is that this last low on the RSI is giving us hidden bullish divergence, which is what kind of tallies together with what I'm looking at on the charts here in at this region, and asking, are we experiencing the potential for a breakout just here with this higher low in this potential for a format of a pattern, and will we get the bullish outcome from it based off of little things like that, and of course the move on the DMI, which could potentially push up the way. I don't want to see hidden bearish divergence develop on the DMI with an overall failure up above. Right, nice one. So let's just quickly check in with these guys. 175.14, wonderful stuff. Fantastic. 38.27, wonderful stuff, fantastic. And moving on then with our friends cryptocurrencies. I could record this, I think, in fact, and make this into a clipperoonie. Maybe I'll try and do something just like that. I'll introduce it just in case I decide to do that. I'm not entirely sure if I will or not, but hey, whatever. Hi friends, my name's Rocky Outcrop, doing the technical analysis for cryptocurrencies right here. I also take a look at stocks, for instance my live show today, all based around the opening of the NYSE. So jumping into the charts here, and what do we have up before our eyes? Well, that's the Bitcoin chart. We can see that we're actually at 48k again. Yes, yesterday we were up at highs of 50,500. This is the 24-hour time frame, and that was that high just in there. Short-lived. People were very excited to see us above 58k, but the opportunity for us to come back down to 48k has been ever present, and you know, it's not a surprise to see us revisiting the range of the last 2 days time frame. Bringing up the charts just so you can see this fairly easily. That's the day, that red one. Here's the 2 and then the green before, jumping up towards the 2 day time frame and seeing that we're really just operating within the range of this area, up there trying at the 50,000s and struggling to actually break it, coming back down to 48,000, and that's your current range on this one until such times as things change. But it's worth pointing out that this is somewhat overextended towards the top side. Well, we're able to do it actually without the divergence on the RSI on the 2 day time frame. That's a little bit of a surprise to me, actually, just kind of that brief glance at that thing, but that's good to see. Positive cross here in the DMI, having come in here in the 2 day time frame back there in July, which makes a good deal of sense. We've been trending upwards ever since. Yeah, cool, actually looking decent. Let's just kind of analyze that a wee bit closer and see if this is the reason why. Yeah, so in the 24-hour time frame we are getting that divergence, and it's overall turning into a wedge on this one for us. So with this wedge on the RSI, we're going to be looking at this and saying, well, we could experience a breakout at some point on it. A breakout in terms of the RSI movements will, of course, traverse the prices in a couple of directions. Just really looking here and saying that if we took out our prior low, it wouldn't be that big a deal in the grand scheme of things. Coming down the way, though, and taking out 40k 42 to 40k, now that would be where the big deal is. Moving down towards the 45,000, well, that's an area where you'd hope to try and find a short-term bounce, but I wouldn't necessarily anticipate that. I wouldn't try and catch any knives on it. Instead, I'd be looking to see